All right. No idea. This is all right. Last time we're just gonna stick with it. I don't even care if it's bad. But yeah, this is like fucking what is this now? I'd say like this is a fucking third, fourth time. Who gives a shit? Just recap real quick. Basically, fucking Zesty Jesus, your boy, literally just fucking dropped a video. Literally just said, "Hey guys, you should boycott that shit because that is the easiest way to get to Valve, to to actually make a response, like put the pressure on them." And it's not just that. We should also we should be talking and discussing about it. Not only here on YouTube, but you should be taking it to, if you can, straight to their email, or I don't know, discussing it on Reddit or whatever other place that you can. I can't really advocate by saying that we should technically. I don't really know what else to say outside of like taking it to a public space and talking about it for the most part. Because for now, it feels like we are getting a little bit of what I like to call the YouTube treatment. Because YouTube does not like. YouTube just definitely does not like fucking dealing with people, and I think Valve is the same way here too. They are very much like, eh. They really are just like fucking off. I don't really know what else to say outside of like, why? You make so much money. I mean, seriously. Why wouldn't you want to like almost pander to like the people that gave you what you have? It's right there. Just do it. But I don't really know what's going on at Valve. Hopefully they're fixing their shit. Who knows? It's all very disappointing though, and kind of sad to see the way that this is all going down and kind of being treated. Because you have games like, I can't even believe I'm saying it, but it's actually, it is true. They are keeping up on it. I would say like Fortnite of all things. As dumb as it sounds, at least they're keeping up with their shit. Though it is getting like for a lot of people, it can be kind of boring because of the way that they do shit. But hey, at least they're actually keeping up on their shit. And as suitable replacements for CS:GO or CS2 goes, fucking Rainbow Six is literally right there, guys. Go play Rainbow Six. I don't personally play any of those games, but I know that for a replacement, it's right there. So like, go after it. Do it. Could be a bit more complicated than your normal game, but at least it's got like some more interesting stuff going on, and at least it actually has like an active anti-cheat system that isn't going to let just any normal schluck with a fucking bot come waltzing on in without there being some kind of like proper fucking shit to look through. But yeah, I'm very, very disappointed in the way that Valve is handling this situation. It's very saddening. Because there are a lot of people who are incredibly passionate and love TF2 and make TF2 content all the time on the workshop, SFMs. I mean, you name it. You even got people, as embarrassing as push comes to shove, you even still have people who are like, meh. They're not like the best personality-wise, but at least they're still doing shit. But it's not good enough. Because this is the game we're talking about. That we're not talking about the outside content, And that is the most important factor here with this situation is that we should not distract from the fact that the game is in a broken state. I mean, it's already shit that we've talked. There's not we, sorry, but fucking Zesty specifically has already talked about. It's already shit that he said. This is just all repetitive. So, but yeah. I already know he said it before, but I would like to I'd like to talk a little bit about some interesting stories and stuff from TF2. And talk about what could potentially be returning if we ever get TF2 back to a state that is the way that we remember it. First off, um, I would definitely still like to see the reverting of all of that competitive shit. It is a useless feature. It sits there in complete agony, pretty much with dust, and not very many people play it. I do not see why people should play it. It was a gimmick, and we all fucking know it. It's a stupid fucking gimmick. We all know it. In general, though, I remember some of the good times that I had while playing TF2 when I was just a kid. Specifically, I remember all the fun times that I heard adults screaming, "Shut up. Shut up, you stupid screamer," to all the kids. And I remember being one of those kids. I never used my microphone because I was always so scared to, like, talk. And then rightfully so, because you have all these grown-ass adults who rightfully would be angry at somebody for playing this game because it's definitely not kid-friendly, screaming at you, being like, "Ugh, what the fuck, kid? Get off my game!" Essentially. Oof. Accidentally clicked. Wrong button there. What a fucking time to be alive, though, when you were just a kid playing TF2. I remember what originally had gotten me into TF2, because, funny enough, I didn't just play TF2 first. I got into TF2 because of Portals 2. I remember watching I believe it was a gameplay trailer, or must have been just the trailer itself of it on the Xbox, and I just remember, like, distinctly, like, listening to the music, watching Peabody and Atlas, like, move around on the map, and just genuinely being fascinated by this fucking game, being like, what the hell is this? I want to play that. And I remember asking for it for my birthday, and I got it. Played the shit out of it with my brother, and then trying to remember what it was exactly. I think it was because also yeah, because we had YouTube, right? So didn't quite know about all the other stuff just then. All we knew was like Gary's Mod Animations and SFMs and stuff. So we just saw these games, didn't really know what they were, but were just genuinely entertained. And then we found out that those are actual games, that you can actually go and play those things. And with the dinky laptop that we had at the time, we went on to find Steam and then play some TF2. And then ever since then, it's just been endless hours of fun as a kid. I would say my entire childhood revolved around at least 3 games. And that was Call of Duty, Call of Duty Black Ops, fucking just the first one, TF2, and then finally, Halo, yeah. Halo 3 specifically. We did have other games on other consoles and stuff too, so like Ratchet and Clank, but at some point, we kind of screwed ourselves, and this has a little bit to do with the person who shall not be named, because I don't think they deserve the spotlight, and I do not think they are good people, and they do not deserve that kind of spotlight. But let's just say a person convinced me and my brother to, at a garage sale, sell our PS2. And us being idiots who just wanted some quick money so we can go buy other games or go do other things with said cash, sold our PS2 like a couple of retards. And unfortunately, due to the cheap sale of what we did, it was like off the table pretty fucking quickly. We were truly idiots. We were truly fucking idiots. Yeah, and then we never saw our PS2 again. And now it's gone. But, yeah, no, bought a new one. It's a smaller one to the one that the one I owned before. I'd say that one was far more reliable than the one I have now. But it's also because I don't think it can run certain games like it used to. But, I do remember distinctly playing the ever-loving shit out of Ratchet and Clank and Jak and Daxter on the PS2. Some of my favorite stuff. Good times. Nowadays, I just wish I could play TF2 again. I can't, and it makes me really mad. And rightfully so for anybody out there who would still like to play TF2. And I think that is a brilliant reason as to why you should go instead of playing on any Uncletopia servers or any of these other ragged piece of shit servers. If Zesty can ever get his servers going, have an opportunity to throw down. Immediately start playing one of those. That is the way to go. Because at least he will keep up with consistency and not fall to what everybody else fucking wants to do, I guess, or whatever the fuck. I don't know. I just feel like he holds up to his own standards and he never changes, and that's something I've always found fascinating for, like, him specifically. He's got a really interesting, like, perspective on things. And I never really bothered to know who he was until way later, when it was already too late. Like, when the actual news started, like, kicking around from, like, some of his own videos talking about the state of, like, I don't know, I was going to say YouTube. The state of TF2. That's when I actually started to get into it. And then found out some other stuff about him as well that was fairly interesting, about his takes, about previous stuff that had happened. And I started to realize the goods and the bads. That we actually have bad TF2 YouTubers, good TF2 YouTubers. Like, we actually have quite a list of individuals who I'd say are pretty questionable. And it surprises me because, you know, for me, you know, seeing all these people before, all I could ever think of was like, oh yeah, TF2 YouTubers. You know, I didn't really think anything of them outside of, oh yeah, most of them are okay for the most part. I don't think I've ever seen a bad one, quote unquote. Nah, turns out we got bad ones. Who knows? Hey, who knew? But that is not about those guys specifically. I think this is more about what we can do. And that is spread the message. Go to your pathetic website of choice. Twitter, Newgrounds. Actually, does Newgrounds even count? No, of course not Newgrounds. It's, don't ever fucking tape poor old Newgrounds with that garbage. I don't think Valve even gives a fuck about Newgrounds, to be fair. I think you should just take it on Twitter, because I think that's the only place that they're even going to give a shit. Just go on to Twitter and literally just be like, hey Valve, fix your fucking game. Thank you. It's very sickening that I cannot play my favorite game that I've been waiting to play for about... Oh, when was the last time I even played it? I don't even know. About a month or whatever ago? 2 months ago? Because of me just only ever getting on to play, like, Man vs. Machine. And then I realized, after Zesty's video, that, hey guys, that's a really bad idea. You're just encouraging Valve to continue doing the same bullshit that they've been doing. Now it's like, oh, okay. So what do we do now? Just wait around until Valve fucking makes a change, I guess. That's the plan, man. That's what you should do. You should go on right now and complain to, not Gabe Newell. I don't even think he's running the show anymore. You should just go to fucking their support email. Just be like, what the fuck is wrong with you losers? Get in, get your head out of your asses. Let's fucking fix this. That's what should be happening. But yeah. For now, I'm thinking about how long I should go on for, because it is pretty late in the day. I'd say we should probably fucking go on for maybe about an hour or so. But yeah, we'll just talk about what we're doing right now at the moment, and that is drawing some cute little versions of some of my friends' favorite characters. If you guys hadn't already noticed from before with the previous streams, I don't know if anybody even kept those up. I doubt anybody gave a shit. But we got a couple characters. We got our Skunt from TF2. We got our Broly. We got our Travis Touchdown. Smoker from One Piece. And then finally, we have a third one coming in, but I don't know if I want to... I'm not going to immediately get on board. I'm going to wait a hot minute. Let's see, can we get him in Aqua Blue? Does Aqua Blue work? Yeah, Aqua Blue would work. We'll get in our next person here. We'll probably do the line work, and then we'll leave it at that. But for now, that person is going to be on the back burner until we finish up the line work for at least Suyu. I want to say her name is Suyu. I could be totally wrong, though. Please do not crucify me. I do not watch that as much as my friends do. Hence the reason one of them likes this character a lot. Let's see here. I feel like I'm going to be crucified once this, like, officially goes up. I feel like there's going to be one guy in there, and he's going to be like, hey, yo, couldn't help but notice years later, you fucking mispronounced that name. How dare you, asshole? And it's going to be every slur in the fucking book. Because I don't know what the fuck I'm saying about this character, other than the name being completely incorrect. And I'm going to be there probably... I'll probably be there being like, oh, okay, cool. First negative comment of the year. Or something of that accord. I don't even know what. Oh. Dude, okay. I've been thinking about this for a while, too. And this is kind of something that's fairly interesting to me specifically. But I kind of want to relish in the fact that one day I might get a negative comment. And I want it to be foul. Absolutely foul. I mean, somebody out there actually paid attention and hates me. Now, that's something I think would be fairly interesting. Only because I don't think I've ever had a person hate me before. I kind of want that. Because I don't think anybody in planet Earth should ever be perfect in that way. I think anybody who wants to strive for something like that is a bit questionable. I think you should learn to love yourself. Be yourself. Do yourself. Not in that order. Be the person you've always wanted to be. Who the fuck cares what another human being thinks? Because you are only you. Also, I just realized I think I effed up here on the arms a tad bit because I was supposed to put a bump down where, like, I think it was the shoulder meets the... I wish I knew what that muscle was. See what I mean? I'm not good at anatomy, but I'm good at drawing it. Hilarious, ain't that right? You call yourself an artist, and yet you don't know what that muscle is. How dare you? Said fucking no one ever. Unless you're one of those fucking hyper nerds who watches scours online and then has to, like, show off your animation prowess or drawing prowess by being like, that's the blank muscle, you fucking retard. Thank you. May I have another? Yeah. I don't even know anymore. I'm gonna keep fucking talking about other shit though. Like, these interesting choice. This interesting cast of lovely characters in the portrait. Actually, you know what? Let's talk a little bit about, like, maybe fucking Dragon Ball Z. Not gonna lie, favorite character still is Piccolo. He has had one of the most interesting, fruitful arcs throughout the entirety of Dragon Ball. He has been pretty consistent up until I would say GT, but GT ain't even canon anymore. So like, I would still say pretty much, even till now, he has been one of the most well-earned in his development of a character, period. I have enjoyed his experience literally the entire time. He's just one of those characters who you can literally just sit there and enjoy. He was beating up on second form Frieza. Dude literally got Orange Piccolo. He fought Cell a couple of times. Even went head to head with him in his earlier forms. Or earliest form, I should say. And still kicked ass for a while up until the Cell part. And then he just kind of fell out of relevancy after that. And to be fair, it's probably because they couldn't really compare him anymore to any other character. They were like, your strength has diminished. You are no longer the same. And then that's what they did. They made him severely irrelevant after that. But yeah, I've always been interested in what a Super Namekian, a legitimate Super Namekian would have been. And I like how they've been playing into that a lot too. It's very interesting that we now have somebody known as Orange Piccolo. What even would that form be classified as? Would it be actually classified as a super transformation, or is it just like a beast form transformation thing? Because that's the thing I've always been wondering about. Or not beast form, a ultra form per se. Because they've been doing this a lot with their characters now. They've been like doing like color specific stuff. So like you have Orange Piccolo now, right? Then you have Blue Super Saiyan God forms, and then fucking what was the other one? Yeah, Black Frieza. There we go. Golden Frieza, Black Frieza. All of these specific colors and variants, and all I could think about is like, I care incredibly less, but here we are, I guess. Favorite arc would always and still be To the Ends of the Earth. The Frieza saga. It is hands down my favorite because it gets straight to the point. It gives Goku the proper transformation that it should have stayed at and left at. And it's essentially my favorite one because it's just all about Goku. That's it. It's all about Goku being Goku. And it feels so good. After that, they really downplayed Goku's intelligence. They tried super hard to give Gohan the spotlight and then screwed that up somehow. And then pretty much, I would say everything after that point kind of turned into a bit of a shit show. I didn't really care about all the stuff that happened after that. And Boo's saga is just it's just dribble. I think the only good parts was like anything with Vegeta in it. I think that was the only time that Vegeta got like probably one of the, I would say, better redeeming parts of his own character up until that point. Because everything that happened in late, I would say everything that happened in the late Frieza, or not Frieza, the later, what would you say? The later, not Frieza, what am I thinking of here? Later Cell Saga, because he redeems himself by, like, after Trunks fucking dies, he's just like, my baby boy, and then fucking goes ham on Cell for a minute, which goes nowhere, obviously. We all know what was going to happen there. And so on and so forth. And I'm also thinking from like a Team 4-star logic here though too, because again, I did watch it, but I got really bored of watching Dragon Ball a lot, and that was because of the way that they handled that sort of stuff. Kind of unfortunately here, but yeah, I would say Toriyama, not Akira Toriyama specifically, but I think the company that runs it, they were very pandery. Or not really pandery. What's the word? Not pandery. they really prolonged a lot of their episodes. They made shit like way longer than it needed to be. Like the stereotypes for like Dragon Ball Z at the time was that it would have several episode long fucking, like, I'd say takes, audio takes of the poor voice actor screaming into a microphone for like a long ass time. And I hate to, I wish that wasn't the case. It really is. You just have the voice actor screaming some of the episodes for a while, be like, oh god, they're just like screaming. I don't even know what to feel about that. Would you even consider those episodes at this point? I don't even know how to feel about that. If you had an entire episode of your favorite anime and that's all it was just the dude, your main character, screaming, and then having like your enemy be like, "Gah, he's powering up. What do we do?" And it's just that. It's fucking nah. Nobody would want to watch that. Nobody would want to watch that. That's why I'm like over here, like, yeah, for nostalgic sake, people in like Dragon Ball nowadays, if they were to watch old Dragon Ball episodes, that's probably where that would come from. For the sake of nostalgia. But I doubt they would ever like legitimately watch their favorite anime, quote unquote, and want to listen to an entire episode of your favorite character grunting and screaming into a microphone. Unless because we can't always discount the fact that we have we have those funny fuckers, the lovely D-gens, as they say. We got them people who are totally fine with said voice actors screaming into a microphone for several hours at a time. Jesus. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if we actually had a couple people who were like that. Just like, yes, my favorite character. Oh, my favorite episode is when said thing just happened for several hours. Oh, so good. Oh, no idea. But a little bit returning back on topic here with some of the TF2-esque talk. That's kind of how it feels, like, in a TF2 sort of sense. You have that episode-long length of fucking screaming that you're like, all right, when's this over? Yep, we understand. We know what you're doing. Yeah, cool. Can we get back on track here? What's going on, right? But imagine that, but instead it's just like nothing, just dead radio silence the entire time. Like, okay, thanks, Valve. You gonna talk? I want to poke the bear without, properly getting into shit. Like, what's going on? Honestly, it's very, very saddening. It actually is. It's just ridiculous. We don't know what it is, though, too. It's honestly just neglect. Like he said before. Like Zestis already said. That shit's neglect. Could have been easily fixed if the only thing that they did was just listen to their community. You know what makes a game last as long as it does? When you listen to the fucking community. When you actually take into consideration what they're talking about. And think about it. And maybe apply it to the things that you are making and doing. Because, hey, they're the ones who notice your shit. I think, oh my god, it reminds me of, like, a quote by, like, okay, he's obviously not even on YouTube anymore. I don't think he is. He might be. Actually, yeah, no, he might be. I know this fucking Stamper. We'll just go Stamper TV on this one. Fucking, he said something super interesting on that Sleepycast podcast where it was just, like, he was talking about, like, how animation or whatever, like, you should probably listen to the fucking people that watch your videos and stuff, because the second that they critique, they're usually the kings of pointing out shit like that's wrong. And in this case, it works the same with like a game thing. If you have a live service game and fucking you got your fans who are sitting here so loyally, may I add, fucking criticizing the game, yeah, maybe you should take that criticism to consideration. Oh, you know what? Interesting point of view now that I think about it, because they're talking about making a new live service game, and I kind of want to know what's up with this deadlock noise, What's going on there? I'm going to give that game a quick look, and I'm just going to, like, say what I feel. So hold on 1 second. Just wanna sit here, draw this part, and then yeah, we'll get right on to it. This is very interesting, especially for like Valve to continue making these games or these software specific stuff, but then completely ignore the massive crowd of people who are literally like, yo, fix the game. Like, what are you doing? We need you to fix it so we can play it, because we want to fucking go back and play your favorite games, quote unquote. Nah. Go play Dota. go buy product. Nah, honey, listen, you gotta go buy product. You gotta go do it. It's part of the business program. I don't know how to feel. It's so lame. It's so lame. Honestly. What the fuck even do you do then? What the fuck do you do? You spend all that damn time doing that shit, and it's just like, what the fuck? Why? All that time, and you just decide now, like, fuck. You know what? Yeah, let's go take a look at this fucking Deadlock. I'm gonna see what this new supposed game that's being dropped or talked about by your boys at Valve. Take a fat look at this for a second here. No, shut up. Get out of my face. Here we go. What is Deadlock? Ooh. Okay. It's on Imgur. Oh. What the fuck is this? Cunning Predator, Grey Talon uses a combination of deadly accurate traps and clever positioning to bring down the toughest opponents. So we have our Hanzo main. We have our Hanzo. And we're looking, it looks to be as if they have a default. That is either a default character or that is their specific. That looks like a spy. That actually looks like a spy. But again, I don't know how to feel about that. It's got a bomb next to it too. York Street. 4 lanes, transit, players, cool. Oh, here's the excellent screenshot. What are we working with here? Okay, we got a guy with the red hair. Some dude wearing a hat. It looks like a... What do you call those guys? He looks like a pimp. Like an old pimp. We got a guy who looks kind of Scottish. That seems to be a robot. There seems to be several robots. One that looks like it's like a old-timey kind of something straight out of a fucking Overwatch. What's that guy again? It's that some lady who runs around in the bike when McCree like I can't even give a fuck about her name. It's her stupid butler bot. It looks like a butler bot. Is that a Bobby? I think there's a guy wearing a Bobby hat. That's fucking cool. Some kind of demon. All I know is that looks like a box. The graphics are so bad. It looks like a box. And then a ghost lady. I'm gonna call her Ghost Lady for now. But again, I think I'm on the same page when I say I'm not particularly interested in seeing this game be happening because we already have games similar to it being made. I mean, if this is Valve's take at it, I'm probably most likely not going to play it. I did not like my experience with Overwatch. I doubt I'm going to like my experience with whatever the fuck Deadlock's going to be, because it looks like it's just going to be an Overwatch clone. Boy, is that going to be... That is going to be some shit right there. How are you going to handle that shit? When you want to fucking... When Overwatch was trying to be a TF2 clone, and now it's like the tables have turned. Valve is trying to be a fucking Overwatch clone. Fuck, even Marvel's trying to be an Overwatch clone. This is so fucking beyond silly. I don't know how else to feel. But the fact that the game is in an unplayable state, and all of their older titles are also in an unplayable state, And then it continues to ramp up with all of these other games that are almost... Actually, yeah, they are. Most of them are in an unplayable state. They're either dead or straight up just like being botted or cheated on half to death. So all of these other titles are like pretty much on the same page. Again, a lot of the old Valve titles, or even some of the newer ones that are happening, same ordeal. You just have an incredible... You have a lot of really incredible games right here to play. And they are all almost in an unplayable state because of bots and cheaters. I can only imagine a game, just a single player game, serves no purpose at ever needing to be hacked on, or like, or it never hacked on, but botted on, or any of that shit. Imagine you get one of those games and then all of a sudden it's completely unplayable because people have managed to figure out a way to get into your system only because you're playing that specific game. I'm not saying that's happened before, but like, that's gotta be a pretty big detriment for your game to no longer be playable, even under the circumstances that it is, because you just decide to never fix it. I feel kind of like that a bit with this, where it's just like, it has no rhyme or reason. It's a really good game. And it's fucking making you so much money. But nah, fuck it. Let's just not do anything with it. This is not good enough to come back. I actually, you know, on one hand, I could probably understand why they don't want to. And that's spaghetti code. But that also doesn't excuse the fact that you have fan-made creations of the said thing that do it far better than the original at the moment. But cease and desist. Hey, by the way, wasn't TF2 a fan-made game before Valve bought it and made it an official? So it's even funnier that we're getting this, like, role reversal almost in a way. Where if somebody made a fan game of that said creation at that time, they probably would have just, like, fucking cease and desist that shit. Because it's being a competitor and pretty much cloning exactly the same formula. And yet your fans are doing a better job than you. This is just the Sega thing all over again. You got better fan-made Sega games, but Sega can't seem to do their games right. Their Sonic right. TF2 can't seem to keep up with their shit, but fans can keep up with it. This shit just never ends. But yeah, still, I would still say fucking make some noise. That's what I say. Make some noise. Actually talk to your friends, your family, anybody who plays TF2 or used to. Talk about the state of the game. Tell them about how Valve is mistreating a lot of their own titles. Talk to people. Make some noise. That's what I say. Obviously nothing too violent. Come on now, guys. I know there's people out there who would fucking do that, but come on now. Just talk. Have a nice discussion with your fellow friends. Tell them about how this game is fucking rotting to the core and Valve does nothing to fix it, but keeps creating Dota clothes. MMORPG clothes, or whatever you call them. World of Warcraft clothes. Like fucking Dota. That League of Legends ash bullshit. Who even plays Dota? Okay, I want to be honest for a second here. I've never played Dota. And I can tell you right now, I already don't like it because it's like trying to be League of Legends. I don't like it. It's not. It's. I feel like it's such a like a tryhardy or like a really boring ass game to play. I wonder if there's actual legitimate players who do, because the only time I've ever seen that game be popular is never, because I've never seen anybody talk about it in like a good light. I've never seen a soul ever be like, yeah, Dota 2, it's really good. Unless we're talking about Base Hunters, because Base Hunters was like, Dota 2's great. And that's it. Dota fucking 2. How do I feel? I don't fucking know. Dota fucking 2. Now I feel like the base hunters all over again. I don't even know what they were saying, and they're like fucking cute accents. No fucking idea. Some real goofy hours though. Here we are, 40 minutes in. And I'm still working on this arm. I truly am stupid for my time. I could be drawing shit faster. This is the problem, is like line work is so fucking difficult because you have to get it right. Or else it's gonna look kinda like shit. And I know what I want my eyes to see when I'm doing this shit. I don't know like about other people. Like I wouldn't be surprised if the criticism was like, hey, you could have just done this line better, or there's a faster way to do this sort of shit, or I wouldn't blame it. I mean, it's already shit that I scream at myself for like fucking not seeing earlier. Like I'm always either never finishing the work that I make because I want to do it better, or I want to just fucking restart back to the beginning because I learned something new and now I have to do it that way. Or else I'm gonna shit bricks on myself over it. There's no in between with me. You are your worst own critic, or whatever the fuck that saying is. It's true. You are your own worst critic. Unless somebody else shits on you harder. Then you got haters. And boy, wouldn't that just be interesting. Let's see, though. I don't even know what you... Are those, like, supposed to be air pads on her? Like... She has these, like, weird little creases, but I don't know what the fuck they even are. Let's take a look at this one more time. I need to get this right again. Let me take a look. What costume was it on? Is it even on a costume? At this point, I don't even know. What reference photo did I even find this on? Because there is a costume, and it has, like, a weird crease thing on it, but I don't know which one. It almost feels like shoulder pads in a weird way, but it's, like, meh. Maybe there isn't any shoulder pads, and I'm completely overthinking this entire fucking thing. I also wouldn't be surprised if I fucking was doing that. But I almost could have sworn there was, like, a reference photo that I was basing this off of. Maybe. Or maybe not. I don't know. Strange. Which fucking one did I do it at? Do we got any other reference photo? Where did I find... I feel like there's a reference photo out there with the weird padding on it. Did I gaslight myself? I could have sworn there was a padding thing with it. I think I legitimately did just gaslight myself. Yeah, there's not even a crease there. I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing. This whole time I've been, like, trying to draw the arm with, like, the pad shit. Because, again, I suck ass with the donuts. Here we are. It's like, nah, it's not even real. Not only is it not real, you've been wasting your time this whole time. See what I fucking mean? And here I thought that there was actual padding bullshit going on with the arms. Like airbag shit. Nah. Not even. That is literally just fabric crease. That is a fabric crease. That is all that is. Oh, there he is. I'll probably make that work. Why did I think that that was a fucking pad? I have to find the photo that I found that on. Well, no matter the case. We will continue to draw this amazing character, quote unquote. I don't know actually how amazing this character is. Could have sworn there was a character who's like intentionally a psychopathic chick, and she has something to do with blood. But she also has that like yandere thing going on, where she's just like fucking the second she drinks your blood, or no, actually I think that was a specific character thing now that I think about it. All I know is she has a weird like obsession shit with blood, and then it's also like the characters that she drinks blood from too has something to do with it as well. I don't really know. I don't know what her deal is. All I know is that that character specifically has some like weird yandere shit going on, because funny character trait. I don't know. Is that supposed to be attractable? Is that an actual attractable quality to somebody? Is to inherently be psychopathic? Is that what people want in like a woman or a man? I say that now, and I know I'm gonna fight. I know it's gonna age poorly, probably. But it is certainly not something I feel like is the most attractable quality. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if there were people out there who are like, ah, yeah, I legitimately like this one guy, and that guy is literally a fucking serial murderer, killer person thing. I don't know. Bro eats mac and cheese without the cheese. It's just mac. And that's the guy I like. Oh man. Pat Stairs. I just reminded myself. He would legitimately eat the milk separate from the cereal. Drink the milk, eat the cereal, but it's all done in like a preceding process where you take like a fucking little jug of like milk with the straw at the top, takes his sip, crunches down on his favorite cereal, like Reese's Puffs and shit. Oh. Oh man, you know what? Kind of want to know what everybody's favorite cereal is. Can't wait to see the mass populace of that one guy you joined say it. Definitely has to be Reese's Puffs. Who doesn't like a good Reese's Puffs? Whew. Let's try to do that. Almost half tempted to think about this sort of shit. Should I just get started on drawing that other character? Because I know I could get the line work done really fast if I actually... Or not line work, the rough draft, my bad. I can get the rough draft done pretty quickly. It's always the line work, though. Gets my ass. Oh my gosh. Oh, you know what? Hold the phone. I forgot this entire time I had music that I could have been playing. That's way too late in the fucking story, though, to be doing anything. Ooh. Perfect. 2 hours of Mario music. Can't wait for Nintendo to come in and be like, fuck you, clown, and kick my ass. Or at least the channel that made the music playlist itself. It's Nintendo. What else were we expecting, ladies and gentlemen? Ah. discussions wise aside, I think for gaming companies as it still goes, I still think Steam is the better option than what we have like still left to work with. But like that's starting, like it's starting to kind of show that like Valve is not doing so hot at the moment. And it's just because I think they have a really piss poor team of people at the moment working. And it's definitely not passionate folks either. It is legitimately, I think it is just a rancid set of bad individuals currently operating. I think it is just a not good selection. Definitely not the most passionate folks out there. I think it takes a certain number of individuals, or not individuals, I think it takes a certain kind of person. Because, again, with the way that all these companies and stuff sort of start their shit, it's always, 9 times out of 10, it's always the people who are the most passionate, people who just like doing the job because they want to make something interesting. They always get shafted the fastest because they're always being like, yeah, the product's really good, but then it's always like, yeah, but you need to make money off of said product, and it always ruins it. It always gets dampered by, like, whatever fucking dickhead junior who's running the fucking marketing for this supposed product is doing. And then they always shill it out with either microtransactions or they turn the game into, like, a rancid waste of fucking time because they are like, it's gotta have that money. And it ruins it. Ruins the whole experience for everybody. Personally, sometimes that shit just... Nah. Just gotta be nah. Sometimes it ain't about the money. Sometimes it ain't about the money. But, don't tell a company that or else they're gonna freak the fuck out. Do you want us to go bankrupt? You gotta stop. We gotta make the money. The money, honey. I don't know. I feel like if you're gonna do that, at least do something like Wario. Make an actual good product. Make actually something fascinating and interesting that's worth getting into. That isn't complete dog shit or ass. And go from there. Hold on a minute. Okay, I thought this was all fucking Mario music and shit. Nah, I guess we got Sonic in here too. That's like one of my favorite like fucking tracks from Sonic Unleashed. Oh man. Oh, now that we're bringing it up, fucking Sonic. Still favorite game to this day. If we're gonna say currently, like modern day time, it's always gonna be Sonic Unleashed. They did such a good job with that game. I like the story. I like the whole gimmick behind it too. I just like it. It's a fun game. I don't really know what else to say outside of, I mean, what was I gonna say? The combat areas. Because the second that Sonic turns into his fucking Werehog form for every night mission, it's always like, oh, it drags on way longer than it needs to. But that shit don't surprise me either. It's just what it is. Also, is that supposed to be the elbow? Why is it down here? Time to fix that, yo. Let's try to be more straightforward a bit. We can have some curvature, but let's not go overboard with that shit. Ben should stay at the elbows and knees and any other part of the body that's got a joint on it. But damn. Personally, though, if I had to pick the best Sonic game, Sonic Adventure 2. Despite what gameplay flaws, I don't even think there... Is there actually gameplay flaws? I think there might be a couple, but it's not that bad in comparison to, like, later fucking Sonic games that feel like a slog, where it's like roller coaster, like, simulator, where you're essentially playing it by the track, and not really doing anything else other than just that. For example, Sonic Generations. I see so many people saying that it's such a good game, but to me, it's like, it's a track simulator. The only missions that I like, because you can have some resemblance of control, is any of the classic Sonic missions. But everything else is like, this is just a track. I feel like it gets worse with, like, not Frontiers, but what is it fucking called? Sonic Generations, there we go. I feel like, or not Sonic Generations, not Sonic Boom, we all know that one was absolute dog shit. What's the one that, like, pandered super hard to, like, the fans? Take a fucking minute here to figure that out. Let's turn that up a hot minute, too. Chill. Keep that down. But, yeah, fucking... Which one is it? Not Sonic Boom. What am I thinking of here? What Sonic game was that? Go to here. We'll take a look. It was... Sonic Forces! It was so bad I couldn't even fucking remember it. But yeah. Sonic Forces. Whoo-wee mama. That is Boost Simulator. Good portion of that gameplay is literally pressing probably one button, holding on to said button, and then maybe releasing button, and then going back to pressing that button again. But most of it is like roller coaster shit. And again, like I was saying before, the classic missions are literally the only ones that are worth playing. That, and obviously creating your rancid, horrible me version of a Sonic OC. Which is probably where 90% of the people playing that game were... Or sorry, a majority of, like, the fans specifically were probably, like, ranting and raving that you could finally create your Cory the Hedgehog or whatever bullshit-ass character you want to throw out. Finally, my OC gets to interact with Sonic the Hedgehog. Take a look. It's my favorite character ever. It's just Blonic. Blonic the Hedgehog. Still remember that animation. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, Sonic. Just let me eat your shit. God, that video. Oh. That is, like, 90% of the fucking time I have ever thought of, like, somebody who quote-unquote calls themselves a Sonic fan. And this is included, like, I wouldn't say necessarily, like, anybody who's obsessed with Sonic to that level. I've always either considered them, like, a good Christian or, like, that one guy where he, like, balls half to death talking about it's eating Sonic shit. Very goofy stuff. Incredibly goofy stuff. Ah, Monkey Island? What? Hold on. What are you looking at? Ah, Super Monkey Ball. Oh, they got some fucking tracks in here. Whew. All pretty good. Hold on a minute. Yo, they even got clock towers fucking beneath the sea. A Hat in Time. That is some good shit right there, too. Ooh. Trying to give the benefit of the doubt here, though, too, to make the legs kind of thin and a bit, like, sprawly. But you can absolutely play into the thickness factor for this character. Tons of people, though, they love drawing this character in ludicrously lewd positions while doing the funny frog bullshit. All in all, though, character interest or not, don't think it really even matters what a person is necessarily into as long as it's not questionable stuff and whether or not that they act upon those said questionable stuff. Like the Mr. Hands case. Hope we never get one of those again. That shit should have stayed in the sheets and definitely not in the streets, as they say. This is some really upbeat music. I don't even think it's chill. I think it's just really upbeat. It's pretty good. I like it. So, let's see here. She's got some cartoonishly huge, goofy gloves. But it's always the fact that you gotta do it. I gotta do it like a massive donut sort of thing. And because this is kind of like a bit of a chibi thing going on, I can't necessarily make it too huge. But we can play into it a bit. This is gonna take away from some of the other design I want to do. Like, I still want to add in the feet part, which is... it's some weird boot shit going on. Yeah, where does her feet even begin, and where does the boot part end? Like, where does that... like, I'm fucking confused about that. All very much interesting stuff. I never really figured out, what is her power? Is her power to, like, jump really high and stick to walls, or is that just the suit that does that part? Because I don't see any kind of, like, booster gear sort of shit where she... like, again, I don't see any kind of gear on her where she has, like, a jump assistant thing, like an exosuit. So I take it her power is that she has a really long tongue, and maybe she can jump really high. But then I don't know about, like, the adhesive part with, like, the whole sticking to walls and shit. Because I have seen some scenes with her in it, and I've been, like, wondering what exactly are her powers. Obviously it's frog powers, but I don't know if it's the entirety of just frog powers. All I know is that frog-based hero, what the hell? X-Men. All I can think of is that one X-Men character. What is his name? The Toad? Dude looks so fucking nasty. Honestly, looks like a gremlin. Dude does not look even human at all. Kinda crazy, but all in all, very ridiculous stuff. And since we're kind of playing into the massive glove thing, I'm gonna make the cuffs kind of end off right about here, and then kind of make the hands do some of that shit, where you got that plays into that, and then the rest kind of does that. It's all very fascinating, though, at the end of the day. Is it fucking... I'm wondering if that anime's actually dead now. Is it actually, like, still around? Because I know that those, like, what was it? Oh, yeah, a friend of mine. Okay, can't be technically dead because they brought back one of those characters. Apparently he had died, and because it made such an impact that they, like, brought him back. So it's just like he pulled a Brian Griffin, I guess. Like Family Guy. I hate that I'm making that comparison, but it's true. Because you had people also screaming and yelling about him, too. Being like, he's dead! The dog is dead! Ugh. Who's that one guy? I'm trying to remember the fuck it was. All I know is it's really funny. Ugh. Hilarious. I find these fucking guys, these cookie characters, awfully funny. He's fucking dead. Whew. Boy. Line work. Well, this fucking shit can be an ass sometimes. Let's take a look at something real quick. Oh, you know what? Okay, and this is something I'm hoping, this is like bad future sort of like talk here when I say this, so like, I don't know. I would say, fuck it, for anybody out there who like already doesn't like the prospect of TF2 potentially dying, then I would say like don't listen to this part, but fucking if we're talking TF2 shit happening, maybe this would be something kind of interesting, but I am definitely gonna miss playing the shit out of Saxon Hale, and not the casual one that was added to the game in like a what was it, summer update or some shit. I don't even remember when they added in official Saxon Hale. All I know is I remember playing a little bit of it and it being like, oh yeah, that's kind of cool, and then I just also remember fucking kind of hating on it too because they got rid of a lot of like good features from the game that kind of gave it that nice steep learning curve to play that guy. For example, if I'm correct, not the VScript version, but the version before VScript came out to add it into the mix, they had a different running variant of that one where it specifically used kind of like the same moving mechanics, or the same what do you call that? Strife. I think it's strife. No, could be wrong. Is it strife? I have to remember here. Hold on. Not strife. Is it strife? Strafe. There we go. Strafe. There we go. Yeah, it used the same strafe mechanics as like CS:GO and like Soldier can do sometimes, or even some of these other characters if they know how to strafe correctly. It used that mechanic and it made the Hale a fucking nightmare to fight, but at the same time it also made like fucking playing against him, or not playing against him, playing the Hale, it made him feel really good. It also made playing playing with him was a fucking nightmare. Playing against him was a nightmare. I'm gonna... kind of difficult to gauge at an appropriate level of volume. I only can hope I'm getting it right. Gonna have to watch it later, though, as always. But yeah, it made playing against the Hail a nightmare, and it made playing the Hail a nightmare because you had to learn those mechanics or you were gonna get fucked. On one hand, it was really daunting for like a new player per se. Like playing as a new player playing Saxon Hail is probably one of the most unfun experiences because it's just like, it's a necessity. You have to learn it or else you are just gonna die. Which kind of, you know, discouraged new players from even playing Hail. At the exact same time, because of the way that those servers were built too, they made playing the Hail, like, you were forced to play them. So you had to learn those mechanics, like, you were going to get forced to. And I kind of hated it too, because they did the same thing as, like, not CS. They did the same thing as, like, Rainbow Six, where if you were so bad at the game, they would make fun of you! And be like, easy game. Like, they just... No respect. No attempt at actually trying to make the other person, like, try to help them learn or whatever. They were just like, fuck you, essentially. Yeah, we had a lot of... I think we had a lot of fucking super smug players playing that fucking game. And then it also turns out that some of them, they're not even real players at all. They were just cheating. They would use cheat engines. So, some of the people that were, like, purposely smug, guess what? They were probably the same psychopathic people who used bots, like, nowadays, or they use a cheat engine to play the game because they can't afford, or not afford, they can't take the time out of their life to learn how to play it. They are so self-absorbed that they'd rather fucking not learn how to play the game. That level of bullshit. Ain't that fun? When you especially are just trying to have a good and honest game, and then it gets completely taken out by the fact that you have this dickhead of a player who doesn't even want to learn how to play the game themselves. They're so comfortable with being the way that they are smug about it. They're straight up smug about it. Super fucking ridiculous, but totally makes sense at the end of the day because you have people who are just gonna be that way. That's just how people are. It's really piss poor. It's piss poor behavior. But at the same time, it's probably the same kinds of people who never have been, like, loved or touched by their dad. Never been given a hug or cared for by their real mom. That kind of behavior. That's just psychopathic behavior. Honestly, therapy is your only best bet at that point, since your only coping mechanism is to cheat in an online game and then brag about it. But yeah, made a bunch of reviews about it before too, being like, yeah, it serves no purpose. I don't even know why you bother fucking wasting your life and time on it when you could just be having fun. Which is the entire premise, by the way. Like, 90% of why the reason people play the game is to have fun. And you got these, like, Cro-Magnon dogs who would much rather just sit there and be like, I'm so good at the game. And it's just like, no, you're not. What are you even doing? What's that on your desktop over there? What's that funny little application on your desktop? Duh! None? Yeah, none. Should be nothing. What is this smooth jazz we're listening to? What the fuck am I listening to? Virtual Sonic. Oh, interesting. Can we skip the track? Can we skip this? This does not sound... This sounds like smooth jazz. This sounds like something you're, like, getting ready to rizz your girl up with. That sounds okay. Village Without Memories. Never played it. Never even seen it. Yeah, no, this sounds chill. This sounds okay. Kind of forgot the curvature of the body gets also rearranged because of the strap-ons on the body. But I'm not gonna play into that because this is a chibi and nobody gives a fuck. Like, these are tiny details that only the artist is gonna see and care about. Unless you have some deranged lunatic out there who also wants to point that out, be my guest. I have never... I don't think I've ever had a single person... I don't think I've ever seen a single person outside of a couple of deranged cases ever feel the need to, like, correct or point out something like that unless they truly are, like, a fucking weirdo. Like, they're the kinds of people who like those specific details and they gotta have them in everything that goes on in their life. Kudos to you, but what the fuck? Let's see something real quick. I'm gonna be kind of lazy here, just... So I'm pretty sure you can just do this. I think. Kind of need to see how this part of the strap goes. Let's see. Oh yeah, no, technically that is the right way to do it. Okay. And here I was kind of worried. I was also gonna say, because something I've always found very, like, kind of weird, but, like, fucking interesting about the way that they always do these characters, and it's not just Suyu or whoever. Why do they always draw, like, it's always a 15-year-old or it's a 16-year-old girl. They always draw them as, like, ludicrously hot, and then they always draw, like, somebody who's in their 20s as, like, an elderly old person. I guess for, like, exaggeration's sake, it's a very, like, interesting take on a character, but at the same time, it's like, these characters have the body and build of, like, an actual adult. Why? Why is a kid built like that? I think a really good show that kind of made fun of it and makes that point kind of really accurate is Vader Zim. That fucking newer movie. Never bothered to watch it. I just know about some of the memes that came out of it during the time it became, like, super popular. And that was one of them. Was like, I'm 15 years old, and it's just this fucking, like, Jesus, bodybuilder fucking type of a person. And then you got these animes over here where they give this, like, 16, 15-year-olds, like, these latex suits with curves? And you're like, I don't know what to feel about this, because that's a kid underneath all of that. And then they're like, you gotta feel. You're like, what the fuck? No, thank you. But then again, they're also fictional characters. So, I think people are allowed to feel however they want to feel about a character. They're allowed to like that character in that way if they like it. And that is the bottom line with that sort of shit. Anybody who sits there and, like, holds, what is it? Anybody who holds like a bog standard for that sort of shit, or not the bog standard, what do you fucking call it? Anybody who wants to fucking like bitch and moan about that sort of shit, it's like, it's such a fucking lame thing to do. Cause you're already like, you don't even know what you, like, nobody knows what you do in your spare time, and you could be considered pretty disgusting by your choices of like, what you like and whatnot. So it's fine if a guy or a lady or whoever can like a character in that way, in that capacity. I've never understood why people have to, you know, crucify another individual for liking the things that they like. Because you are no different. You are just as disgusting. Everyone's disgusting. It's just the book. Everybody poops. Everybody poops. Oh, shit. Just dropped my... What did I just drop? I feel like I dropped something. I can already hear the dad joke coming in. You dropped your standards. Duh. God damn it. My brain. I fucking hate it sometimes. But yeah. Yeah. These are all like fucking fictional characters anyways. They're not real. They're never going to be real. And even then, it's the same situation with, like, the Mr. Hands thing. Just, nobody ever needed to know, and nobody ever needs to know. And you should never try to act upon it either. Because the second you do, you're already doing some fucked up shit. That's why we got laws for that reason alone. Keep it in the sheets, not in the streets. It's the reason I'm even making a comment about it even now. Because it's like, yeah, this shit's kind of weird. It's probably one of the major reasons why I don't like watching anime anymore, is because a lot of it doesn't do... I don't know what it is, but I feel like storytelling has sort of dropped. And it's kind of like, everything kind of feels like Gurren Lagann-y in a weird way, where everything kind of like, it feels like almost copy and paste from another story or something that I've already seen. And I'm like, oh, I've already seen this, I know what's gonna happen. And then 9 times out of 10, it's either that thing happens with like one subversion to the plot that doesn't necessarily copy and paste it, or it is just straight up that. It is just a copy paste of the thing you've already seen. I don't know. I feel like that's a very unique perspective. It's like a very a niched one. Not everybody is like on that same page. I think there are like very few people who I've ever met who share that same sentiment. But again, it's like, it's a specific niche. A lot of people can like the things that they like, but it's always like, fuck. Not everybody's gonna be on the same page. Oh, so completely screwed up here. I should probably make this part of the bracer, glove, whatever you want to call it. Fucking the donut part. Should try and match it up a bit. And if I'm gonna do that, I should probably play more into the cartooniness of it. I don't know. Illustrations. Very difficult. Very many people can get into it. But hey, here's something you should also know, because I feel like a lot of people kind of forget that this is the thing you can do, especially when it comes to art. Taking advice from people isn't always the best way to go about doing shit. Take your own time, take your own pace, and learn on your own, learn on your own accord. Or never learn and just take an AI application that just steals other people's art and just do it that way. Yeah, just do that. I don't know. Learn nothing. Become Gremlin. Fucking Christ. I feel like that is a whole discussion on its own. But I also want to, like... Oh, man. I gotta have that kind of discussion with, like, a friend. And then just, like... Fucking just get a general sense of the shit. Seriously, because fucking AI's all sorts of effed up at the moment. And, effed up in a way where I am being, like, it's it's the methods of how it's being used is questionable. Is it's destroying certain parts? I would say it's very intrusive. I'll say that. It's very intrusive at the moment. It's not good. It could be better if people actually managed to use it in a way where it felt more genuine. But that is a very difficult thing to do, especially at a day and age like today. And people do not want to take the effort to make these things happen because they're so self-absorbed. So they would just much rather never learn and just keep being selfish. But yeah. That's essentially like 90% of the problems nowadays, is it's always somebody being too selfish. It always comes from a place of selfishness. Corporate selfishness. Like the ignorance and neglect of your fucking franchises, your titles. You are essentially taking a Bethesda route at this point and just not fixing your games. You're just letting them stay the way that they are without properly giving them the appropriate updates to fix them. But at least with those games, right? Like with the Bethesda ones, at least with those games, they're solo play, so mods can fix them. Because everybody already knows they're never gonna fix them. So what else is gonna have to happen? Mods, mod them. It's the only way to do it. Even then, the mods are better than like most of the gameplay, anyways. I don't necessarily like a Bethesda game, quote unquote. I only ever played like Fallout 4 on the Xbox, and even then, I never really finished it. No, actually I did, because I did the Brotherhood of Steel route. I just didn't like it. It was really boring. I kind of went straight for the missions only, and didn't really even bother doing side missions, because I got so bored of playing against all of these broken-ass AIs, and just fucking dealing with the dialogue and the faces. I don't know. I just feel like that game is incredibly boring without mods. And I am completely correct now, because fucking Christ. Sean! Is that the kid's name? Before he became like an evil guy who worked for like the Robo company? Sean, we have to go back. No, daddy, or mommy, or whatever fucking, whoever, whichever fucking character you picked. Fuck you, you abandoned me as a kid, or whatever. What was his fucking excuse? I feel like that was one of them, was that he became so, like, senseless because he was abandoned, I think was his excuse. I don't even remember the full dialogue. All I remember was like, he was so retarded. Like, the kid was, he apparently considers himself a super genius, and is like, at the same time, he's also, like, really retarded about the way he says it, that I'm like, yeah, I just blast your head open. You're no longer my son. Alright, bye. And then you kill him. Don't worry, my mud and fucking Deathclaw Super Tommy Mommy Waifu will kill your ass. And then have sex with me later on top of your dead corpse. Fucking mods. Oh. Fucking mods. That is why I love them so much. They make the entire experience no longer like something boring. It's always something really silly. And I'd rather a game like that, especially with the way that it like handles itself and shit. If the game isn't that immersive or worth getting invested in, then at that moment I'm like, mod. That's it, mod it. I don't want to deal with this. Because it's not even trying to take itself seriously, or it's not worth being taken serious because it's so beyond with its own self. I feel like that with like fucking, god damn it, I guess I'm biased against it, but then you also have Yakuza, which like again, it's so bad, it's bad in a good way. Where it's so outlandish in its fucking storytelling that it's like, this is so fucking silly and stupid, I'll take it. Because it's, like, fucking so outlandish in how it handles itself. And it'll do it feverishly, too, where you're like, where is this even going? And of course, it goes to somewhere you didn't even think of. And you're like, what the fuck, even? It's so funny in that regard. I like it for that way. I think that's the only one I've ever felt so uniquely quantifiably, or sorry, so uniquely I feel that is a good one. Even though by like all definitions, it's not good story-wise telling. Like it's not good with the story, or maybe it is. I don't really know. All I know is it's so silly that it works. I think it's the only thing I could even say about that game is that it's so silly it fucking works. While Fallout tries to take itself seriously, and you're like, oh, boo. Oh man. Now that I'm even bringing this up too, fucking the TV series for it that came out. Every Halo fan was like, I wish this was Halo. This is what Halo should have been. A faithful recreation of a gaming franchise, or a game that was done like correctly. But nah, instead we got Master Queef over here taking off his pants every chance that he gets so he could, fuck his... fuck his teammates? No, is that right? Yeah, fuck his teammates, fuck his warthog. Fuck his virtual babe, who also likes watching his super babe get cucked, I guess. And everything under the sun, just like, okay. It's the fucking goddamn shit. I don't know how else to feel. It's so bad. It's so bad. And everybody wishes it wasn't that bad, but of course it fucking is. Was it ever gonna be good? Well, we wished. But unfortunately, no. Oh man, we have been streaming for about an hour and 31 minutes. I'm thinking about maybe calling it quits because I also don't want to do this all day. That, and I kind of want to watch a television show called Blue-Eyed Samurai and see how that goes. But at least the line work for this is looking pretty okay for the most part. I feel like I could have improved in a couple spots, but I mean, these are actually supposed to be kind of smaller details in the longer run with the rest of the stuff. I mean, we haven't even gotten to the rest of the characters. Fuck, I haven't even done the rough for that other character we were supposed to do. But you know what? What a time to be alive. Let's do it right now. Let's go take care of that character right now. Line work down. Do that. There. Let's go turn down the rest of the characters for a second. There we go. And then again, I think we should probably go with the dark blue. What the hell is this? Hold on here. Yellow Giant. In the wake of Doshin the Giant. This is some really goofy music. I got to return to Dreamland. I've never... You know what's funny? Never played a fucking Kirby game either. And I fucking think Kirby's, like, really fun. I like watching people play it, but I've never played it myself. That might be worth listening to. Damn. Ice Cream? Rice Star. Or Restar. Never played that one either. Or seen it. That's not what we're here for. We are here to stop with the character for a second and draw a quick rough draft of the final chibi that I'm supposed to be adding to the mix. By the way, never played this game either. All I know is that it's insanely animated. It's crazy how much it is animated. But also at the same but also at the same time, this character is, again, it's very highly designed. Like, it's incredibly designed. But fuck me sideways, this is going to be a difficult-ass one to probably draw chibi-wise. There's going to be a shit ton of detail. This character is, like, very over-designed. I have a bit of an issue with these sorts of characters, too. In any other sort of sense other than in a 3D space sort of sense, though, too, because it can be translated pretty good. But I always feel like these characters with this specific design, I always feel like it's too much for the eye to handle. So it's not simplified, or it's too complicated to look at unless it's being done in a portrait sort of sense. Because otherwise, like, I feel like sometimes these characters are a bit too much to look at. But we should probably stop hiding it for a second here and actually put in the name so we don't forget it, because I do that with all my layers when I'm designing characters here. Let's get it in here for a second. Also, again, I don't know how to spell, I don't know how to say the name. I really don't. Probably not until somebody actually pronounces it to me, and I'm still gonna be a fucking retard and not remember it. But it's her, if anybody can even see that. Whatever. I'm fucking barely even gonna try with that. She doesn't look to be too over-designed in certain aspects, but again, once you get to, like, certain areas of the body, you can definitely see where the design goes a bit over the top. And it's not just her, by the way, either. There's a lot of characters who are like that, so you can get the basic shapes of certain characters. But then it just goes all over the fucking place, where you're like, oh my god, stop. This is too much. I don't like how that's... Why is it doing that? And naturally speaking, I don't even know anything about this character at all, other than just another cutesy character who carries a massive weapon. I think that's all I know. I say that with fucking question marks, because again, I've only ever seen this character in like 3 places, and that is VR chat, my friend's fucking bio picture, or whatever, his profile picture, and finally, fucking here, just on Google. I know fuck all about them. I haven't even seen them animated. Hilarious. And here you would think, yeah, fucking, you've seen the other characters animated, but why not this one? Just fucking never bothered, I guess. Zedla's Zone 0. Yeah, you got me. I have no idea. It's a very interesting character. God, shut up, please. Website, stop. Stop. I don't care enough. Thank you. Somebody actually took a lot of screenshots of this character, so I actually will be able to get a lot of angles. Yeah, okay, so now I'm actually getting a chance to notice it. Yes. There's a lot going on with this character. There's so much noise to it. For detail's sake. By lordy. Yeah, there's a lot going on with this character, design-wise. At least it gets the food groups all down, though. So it's, like, you get the structure of it, because the stuff is kind of basic. But then all the detail stuff is the shit that makes you have to work super extra. Ugh. Let's see here, can we... Oh. Let's see. Because you got him, you got the 3 here. I'm almost half tempted to maybe have the Broly who's floating and the Travis who is standing to the side. I'm almost having, maybe she should like be right here, but like kneeling. Not kneeling, but more like sitting down. Maybe she'd be the only character who actually is sitting down. Because if I have her standing up, it'll take too much of Turok's. Or, not Turok's. Fucking hell. It's not even Travis. Hold on. Broly's character. There we go. Why was I thinking of the fucking game? Let's take a look again. That's the question about these sorts of things when you got this like little profile picture shit going on here. What would you have the character do? Oh shit! Hold on, is the zipper even? No, that's not even a zipper. What even is that? Is that like a little tie add-on thing? It's got like a little clip-on fist thing going on. That's a small detail that I didn't even notice until I got like a zoom in on it. God damn it. See what I mean? Sometimes these designs, they're overdone. There's a lot going on there. At least the basics are there, but god damn it. I'm probably going to be spending more time on that character alone. Just because of all the tinier details from like the coat. Then the schoolgirl, I want to say shirt part. And apparently some under shit for that too. Then the belt, the skirt itself. I'm going to assume those are bracers for the jacket. But then they also look like chains. It's weird. The whole thing is far weirder than I could ever imagine. Another reason why I don't necessarily like watching a lot of them either is because I feel like sometimes it can feel like too much. Like it's like too much over-designed BS. Like I don't know. Like sometimes I feel like I can't get into certain stuff because it feels like it's too much. Here, ground would be a little bit lower, so I think we gotta lower that a bit more. Right about there. Right there. I think that should be good. And we'll try to get some of the more basic stuff down for the characters, so we're not necessarily going in depth. But from what I noticed, it's got... the horns are towards the front. So it actually... so the hair doesn't get in the way of the horns. So it's a part of the face. Which is fairly interesting, and we want to get down the basics here too for the characters, so we're not necessarily going too overboard here. But yeah. I hope I'm doing that right. We might have to cut the head and the body. We might have to make it spread out just a tad bit more. But I also want to make sure it's actually on par with the rest of the heads. Let's take a look here. Okay, kind of small. So that means if we're going to, we should try increasing the size just a tad bit more to help out with details. And then we should try and make it about a little bit lower, but a little bit higher. So more like, let's see, is that about the same size? Yeah, about, let's make it slightly higher, like right about there. Because they are crisscrossing at the moment. Oh, 1 second. Wrong tool. There we go. See, did I get all the basic details down at least? At least with the rest of the characters, I actually attempted to put in some time and effort with like the rough draft a tad bit so as to at least get more down. So I'm gonna do the same here too. It's the least you can do before I decide to stop streaming. Oh, hold on a minute. Here we go. Again, with these certain character designs, I consider them a bit over-designed because of how much detail a lot of these characters have. It is very impressive, I'll say that, but it is also really difficult to do or want to do anything with these characters in any sort of capacity due to the fact that these characters are so heavily designed. But it also makes sense why they would have gone for a 3D path as well, due to the fact that these characters being so overly designed, they only have to rig them once. And the rest is sort of just puppeteering BS. Which is why they're allowed to probably get away with it for the most part, because in any other normal capacity, from a 2D perspective, there's no way in hell anybody's gonna fucking want to draw these things a billion times to do it. I don't blame them personally, but I just think from a drawing perspective, they're a bit difficult to want to draw and track. Let's see here, actually, can we, 'cause it gets really long, too. We'll go down like that. I don't even know why I'm trying to put in so much damn detail for such a small thing, specifically. But at the same time, I'm damned enough to want to do it. Here we go. Oh no, there is a bit. Okay. Right there, and then... I haven't even gotten into the eye part yet. I've just sat here and just done this. God damn. And fucking alone, the eyes are gonna be a bastard and a half to fucking deal with. I can already tell this is not gonna be fun to draw. But... maybe it will. Who knows? Don't knock it till you try it, dummy. Ooh. Here we go. May have to do some more erasing on my part so as to make sure this works. There's a lot to this character that is incredibly distinct. A lot of it is also just like in general, what's the word? It's like super detail-esque BS. So you have to be incredibly patient and willing to take the time to actually learn the details and do the thing. Where's the reference when you need it? Okay, she has... what would you kind of say those eyes are like? I guess almond shape? I don't know. Some very interesting stuff going on there, though. to make it very basic, but to the point, as all shits and giggles. Fucking carry on! Oh. Okay, hold on a minute. Also, just kind of realized something here, too. Since I did just erase a good portion of the hair and everything else, I feel like we should try and get the face down first before the hair, because the hair is its own mess, and that thing can be a bit of a bitch. So, let's be fair. Yeah, it gets pointed, so it doesn't just end necessarily without a good reason. And I want her to be at least staring at you directly. That's right, you! She stares into your soul. A beast. I feel like this is a cat meme where it's like the void stares back and it's just this adorable cat that you can't even see, by the way. That damn thing is so dark. Let's do that. Because I'm kind of lazy. I don't want to like deal with that BS. That, and I want to make sure I at least get the line work down as easy as possible. There we go. Gotta make sure. Oh, actually it's just this. Never mind. This is a very adorable character design, but I also hate how overly designed the fucking thing is. I actually want to just like, ugh. I want to not draw it. And let's actually try to angle it a tad bit here too. More like that. Because it needs to be more straightened. Maybe? Could probably do better. Could probably do better. But I'm also not going to get into it because I am definitely grinding on time now. Definitely grinding on time. Also, again, what's up with this jazz? I feel like this is... What the hell am I listening to? Oh, this is just Parappa the Rappa. I'm gonna move on. Planet Popstar map, huh? Nope. Let's go to Mario Kart. The Koopa Troopa Beach. That's how we do. Nice. That's the way to go. Beautiful. trying here. That's why I like, whenever we actually get into the line work part of this shit, like, this is never gonna carry over fully. But I try to make the rough draft as close to the damn thing as possible so that I could work with it as close as possible for accuracy's sake. But fucking hell no. Hell no, this shit ain't gonna carry over nicely. This is one of those situations where I feel like this might be one of those situations where I have to take a shit ton of liberty to fucking make it look more on par. I've had situations like that before happen where you're just kind of sitting there and you're like, this doesn't even look close to the fucking design. What the fuck am I doing? And you just like, eh, fuck it. You just gotta do it. It's so weird though too, because sometimes when you're fucking doing it, right? Sometimes the design that you gave the less shit about, like sometimes the fucking drawing, the one that you didn't even put any time or effort into, you just shout it out real fast, looks way better sometimes than like the one that you took all the time out of. There's one guy I feel like that is especially equivalent to sometimes. I see that effect massively with one guy. If anybody knows Plague of Grapes, I feel like his rough drafts look way better sometimes than his actual final product. His, like, actual fully finished fucking drawing. But that is a me thing specifically. I don't know if everyone else feels the same about that. But I feel like that a lot with his drawings. I see them and I'm like, I like your line work, but then the second he actually starts to draw the rest of it, I just don't, I don't know, it like somehow like it gets weirder or like shittier somehow. It looks less finely detailed or less interesting to look at than it would anywhere else. And I feel like that a lot with my art too, whenever I'm like drawing and shit. I feel like sometimes I don't get the right thing going, or sometimes I don't feel like it's attractable enough, or what's the word? Sometimes it doesn't look like it's particularly interesting to look at. And right now, this is all just fucking this is all just rough draft shit. This isn't even line work shit yet. And even then, the line work here, like, you saw me mess up a lot with, like, littler details and shit. So, like, I think I fall victim to that same thought process where I overthink when it's very unnecessary. I hope I'm doing it fucking right. This is why I'm like, oh, see? It doesn't ever feel like it's rounded. It always feels like it goes straight. And then it has the little bars at the end. So it does kind of more like this. And then it does that. Like some bug grabbing at like the side of your face with its like little weird prongs. And then it kind of rounds. That's what her hair does. The little droopy parts. Oh! I didn't even think about it, but she has like fucking she's got elf ears. She's got the pointy ears. Which might just add on to it even more by design-wise. I kind of like it. Like I said, very cute design, but it is very over-designed. By the way, this is just a rough draft. The rest of these didn't take this long to do, but I almost feel like for this character, you kind of have to do it, or else you're gonna, like, get fucked in the weird way. You're gonna get, like, super fucked if you don't do it. This is all nothing but, like, hair for the most part. And then she has 2 of those. What about the other ear? Can I see the other ear? Oh, same thing on the other side too. Very important to stay consistent with your characters. I like that. But damn. This is, yeah, a rough draft, certainly. But boy, your head. Whew. You got that Broly thing going on too. You're just gonna be a head full of hair. Then let's... We may have to do some spreading here so as to make this whole thing work. Since we do have some time, we might have some liberty to actually do that a tad bit with some of these other guys. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to the rough draft real quick. And then we're going to spread out these characters a bit so as to make this work a bit more better. Let's see here. There we go. And then we're gonna play some, like, super Liberty shit here. We're gonna have to, like, cut in and cut out certain parts. So maybe, like, with the goggles, that might cut in a tad bit. Maybe. Because we gotta know what we're doing with layers. Let's see. Let's try to work a little bit more tangent. Try to cut it right there as close as we can. And then let's go back to the line work part of it and move that to its appropriate spot too. There we go. Okay, good. It is. Alright. Alright, there we go. Keep that there. Let's see for a second. Okay, perfect. See, not that bad. So that is on the perfect position. I don't know about the Broly on the other hand. Should we try and... We actually have a little bit more liberty to work with for the Broly, so why don't we go ahead and also go over to him real quick and cut him out a tad bit. And let's try to put... Oh, I effed up there. Give me a second. let's put more space for the Broly. Let's try to move him a bit more higher. And give him more of that real estate upstairs. So he can actually show off his beautiful body as he's about to annihilate the ever-living shit out of us all. Bam. And because we now have some liberty to work with here too, we should try and turn him down just a second. And we should try getting Travis and Smoker in. As well as the Skunt. Let's see here. We should, specifically for the Travis, I think we should try decreasing his size a tad bit. We might need to angle him a tad bit too. Yeah, it looks to be as if the case. We might need to angle him just a tad bit. Also, I realized we may have to make a wider portrait, which is totally doable in this program. But for now, I want to at least finish all the line work, and then when we're done, I'm gonna get a wider portrait, slightly wider. And what I want to do is I want to line out these characters a little bit better than this. But I do want a bit of some dynamic, specifically with the Broly. I still want the Broly to float, because I think it'd be really funny. And then what we should do is because these are all of my friends' favorite characters, I will send them the individual ones. And I think I might want to do like a background thing for it too, which could, you know, give it some more pizzazz, as they say. But yeah. And then work with that. And that's how we do. But for now, I'm going to save this. And then, for the sake of the one friend who didn't get to see, let's make sure we turn the rest down around the character so as they get to see the character. So they know what's gonna happen here. We got it saved, right? Yep. And then we're gonna export the photo real quick. Actually, kind of scared to. Let's not do that for now. I'm gonna save this on my own time, but fucking for now, I think that's about it. Thank you to the 2 random people who actually came in to fucking, I guess, barely listen to this fucking dumbass thing. But yeah, I'm going to keep this up publicly and then just leave it at that. I'm thinking about doing some more streams. The plan is I want to do podcasts specifically. Subject matter kind of ranging to a big fat load of like everything. Like everything's kind of welcomed. Oof. I don't know if everything, because I don't know what the guidelines specifically on certain subject matters would be. But I'm thinking about either keeping them more run down so that YouTube doesn't necessarily put the ban hammer on our shit. And then we do like all of the extreme, like just straightforward bit. We keep that on like an unlisted channel, or like move it over to like a maybe Spotify, because I think Spotify's more open to that shit. But yeah, the plan is another guy, don't want to spoil the name, kind of wants to join in on the idea, and hopefully we actually have the opportunity to go through with it. for now, this was okay for the most part. I'm glad I made some progress. And I'm glad I talked a little bit at the beginning about my thoughts on it, but I also feel like for anybody out there who doesn't know, you should definitely be screaming at Valve about all of the BS that has been out. So, I advocate, and I'm not saying that like I don't do it violently. Don't try to make like a fucking, if you're gonna make a ruckus like verbally, but don't like hurt anybody. Obviously, don't be malicious about your intentions with this sort of shit, because then it's never gonna be dealt with properly. But you should definitely be saying some shit to Valve. You should definitely be like, my take is like two things. You should either review bomb the shit out of specifically every Valve game, asking for the games to be fixed, or you should be communicating directly with Valve through either the email, Twitter, Reddit, or whatever other BS you get, and just like say your grievances, but also just be like very like straightforward with it. Just say like, hey, fix your game, please. This is bad. This is an unplayable state, and you guys need to stop working on whatever BS and just fix it. That's what I feel like it should be. Advocate, scream it out, and stay consistent. That's right, stay consistent. Do not stop until Valve makes the changes. Hold them to it and keep it going. That's what I think we should do. Anyways, that'll be it for me. Don't know when I'm planning to do another stream like this. Probably never. Who knows? But yeah,